class 8. Today we are going to learn storage of food grains. Means when we just plow the field, the different method we have used for growing the crops. First we have learned about plowing the fields, then leveling, then manuring, then after irrigation, then after seeding, sowing the field. Then after sowing we have learn about the harvesting, threshing, winnowing. At last step that we do is storage of food grains. What it is? Storage of food grains. The fresh food grains obtained by the harvesting of crops contain more moisture than required for their safe storage. So the food grains, when they cut, means when they brought from the field after harvesting, the crops contain more moisture than required for their safe storage. That's they require for their safe storage. So the food grains obtained by harvesting the crops are dried in the sunshine. When they harvested, first of all, before the storage, they set the grains dry in the bright sunshine before storing to reduce their moisture. It is necessary to reduce the moisture content of grains before storing to prevent their spoilage during storage. If they contain moisture, what happen when we store them? Some fungus or any other bacteria can grow on it. That's why it should be allowed to reduce their moisture before they get stored. This is because the higher moisture contained in food grains promotes the growth of fungus. That just now I tell you that if they contain the moisture, what happened? The growth of fungus became increasing in it. The moisture contained the food grains that grow the fungus and mold on the storage grains which damage them. The farmer stored the dried food grains at home in the metal bins or jute bags called gunny bags. After when they get dry, the farmer take that grains and store them at their homes in the metal bins and in the jute bag that is known as gunny bags also. Dried neem leaves are used for storing food grains at home, and they put some dried neem leaves, neem tree, neem leaves are used for storing food grains at home. For example, when wheat is stored at home in iron drums, as we see at our home also, when our mother store our food grains in iron drums like wheat, what she do? She used to put some dry neem leaves in it. Whenever you have seen some rice or wheat is being stored in your home, what your mothers do, they used to put some dried neem leaves or some other things in the grains to prevent them from the moisture and from the growth of fungus. Dried neem leaves protect the food grain from pests such as insect and microorganism. The dried neem leaves, what they do, they protect the grains from microorganism and from the pests. Microorganism, what are microorganism? The organism that which we cannot see with our naked eyes is known as microorganism. Understood? So what the neem leaves do? They protect the grains from the spoilage from insects and microorganisms. The government agency like Food Corporation of India, that is FCI, buy grains from the farmer on large scale and store it in a big godowns so that can be supplied throughout the country. What our country governments do? Our government have formed a Food Corporation of India. What they do? They buy the grains from farmer on a large scale and store them in a big godowns so that it can be supplied throughout the year in our country. The large scale storage of food grains like wheat and rice is done in two ways. Means the large storage like grain, example wheat and rice, is being stored in two ways. What are the two ways? First is they can store in the gunny bags, and second is in the grain silos. Understood? The most common method of storing food grains on large scale is to fill them in a gunny bags, stitch the mouth of gunny bags tightly, and keep these gunny bags over one another in a big godown. What they do, they store the grains in a gunny bag, they fill the gunny bags with the grain and stitch the mouth of the gunny bags tightly that any insect or pest cannot enter in it, and keep these gunny bags over one into other, and keep them in a big godowns. Understood? Pesticide solution are sprayed on the stacked gunny bags in the godown from time to time, and they used to spray the pesticide that pest cannot enter in the, or pest cannot harms the grains. That's why they used to spray the pesticide solution time to time in the godowns. Understood? The grains from damage by pests during storage, and they used to spray the pesticide to protect the grains from the damage by the pest during the storage of the grains in the godown. The population of rat in the godown is also controlled by killing them with rat poison. What they used to put the rat poison in the godown, that rats also do not harm the grains in the godown. Through a gunny bag is not an ideal container for food grains, but its great advantage is that food grains filled in gunny bags can be easily transported and distributed at various places. Though the gunny bag is using not a ideal container, means not a fit container to keep the grain safe, but advantage of using a gunny bag is that can be easily transported from one place to another and can be easily distributed from one shop to other or anything. In addition to the gunny bag method of storing food grains, the grain silos are also used for storing food grains. The other method is they used to store the grains in the grain silos. Grain silos stores the food grains on a large scale. How? See, the grain silos are specially designed, big and tall cylindrical structure. The grain silo structures are big and they are in cylindrical shape. In which shape they are? They are in cylindrical shape. Just you can see in the figure. In this figure you can see it also. This is the grain silos. It is made up of tin. Tin is a metal and it's made up of tin, and it is in which shape? It is in cylindrical shape. The grain silos have inbuilt arrangement for the protection of food grains, and their structure when their grain silos are built, they are arranged in this way for the better protection of food grains from pests and insects and microorganisms. Means when they are being made, the grain silos have been made, their arrangement in that condition they do that pest or any other microorganism cannot affect or harm the grains that are stored in it. Understood? Our next heading is food from animals. Till to now what we have studied? We have studied that how we get the food grains, cereal grains from the plants. Means the method of agriculture, we have all step of agriculture we have follows and learn. Now we are going to study how we get the food from animals. As you all know, we have two sources of food. Human have two sources of food. That one is of plant and other is of animal. And we all are divided in three category: herbivorous, carnivorous and omnivorous. Herbivorous, what do you think? How we get the food from animals? Milk that you drink daily, where does it come from? Do you think that the milk we get from the plant? No. Milk is an animal product. Ghee, cheese, butter, curd, these all are animal product. Now see what we're going to learn in this topic. Though we get most of our food from crop plants, animals also provide us food. As we all know, we get food from the crops plant, and many animals also provide us food. The food provided by animals consist of milk, eggs and meat. What they consist of? They give us milk, eggs and meat. The food obtained from animal is very rich source of protein. The food that we obtain from the animal is rich in protein. Means the food that we get from the animals give us a good amount of protein to our body. In fact, animal food provides certain proteins which are not present in plant food. In fact, some animal food provide us certain protein that we cannot get it from the plant product. And animal food provide us also the fat also. It contain very little amount of carbohydrate. Animal food, however, contain minerals, vitamin, etc. Like milk, we are talking about just now. Milk provide us lots of calcium. As you sometimes heard that if our bones get weak or anything problem that related to the bones, our doctors prescribe to drink the milk daily, or the calcium tablet that they give, they are used to be good for bone. Mainly they are for the calcium, and milk is the good source of calcium. As a prescription, I can also say you that if you drink a glass of milk daily, you never face the bone related problem. The food that is obtained from animal is more expensive than of plant source. The animal which provide us food mainly of two type. The animal that give us food mainly of two type. They are milk yielding animals or mulch animal. Milch animal means the animal that give us milk is known as milk yielding animals. Then second is meat and egg yielding animals. Yield means dene wale. So first category is that give us milk, and second one is that give us meat and egg. Understood? Both these category we will go through in the next class 8, that are milk yielding animals and meat and egg yielding animals. We will go through in the next class. In the next class, I hope so that your lesson got completed, first lesson. Please do a good revision, and I hope so that in the next class I will give you some question to do also. So please do a good and fair revision. If you have any kind of queries, just ask me on a comment box. Give me a comment. I'll reply each and every comment. So have a nice day. Bye bye.